Greetings. Today we're going to talk about the origins of Hinduism. Now, before we get to the origins of Hinduism, it's important to understand the caste system of India. As we talked about earlier, the country of India was colonized by a tribe of people from the Caucasus Mountains called the Aryans. Now, the Aryans brought with them some religious writings called the Vedas. And in the Vedas, it outlines what was called the caste system. Now, the caste think of a cast on your arm being very hard and rigid and unmovable. Well, that's how it worked for what you did with your life in the Indian society. Now, much like the Egyptians or even the people of Mesopotamia, there was a division of labor. At the very top were known as the Brahmins. This was the priest class of India. Below them, the Kshatriyas, who were the warriors, the Vaisyas, who were the farmers, craftspeople, and traders, the Sudras, who were the workers and servants. Now, if you were unable to be in one of those castes, you were considered to be an untouchable, as the name suggests. Together, the Vedic writings from the Aryans, along with local writings and traditions called the Upanishads, formed together to create the world's third most popular religion, the religion of India, Hinduism. I'd like to start off by talking about a few differences between Hinduism and Christianity. Hinduism, like Christianity, believes in a single creator God called Brahma. Also, like the Christians, Hinduism believes in an internal spirit or an Atman. However, unlike the Christians, the Hindus do not believe in only a single God. As a matter of fact, the Hindus have a God for just about everything in nature. We call that polytheism. I want to talk about four of the most important gods in the Hindu religion. The first god, of course, is Brahma, known as the creator god. You can notice that Brahma has four faces, each facing one of the four different directions. He's also seen with four arms, each one holding a Veda. The next god is the preserver god, Vishnu, and then the destroyer god, Shiva. Both preservation and destruction are important themes in Hinduism. Shiva's son, Ganesh, one of the most popular Hindu gods, can be seen with the body of a man and a head of an elephant. Ganesh is the god of both mischiefs and sweets. He has huge elephant ears to hear people's prayers, and if you go by any of his temples in India, you may notice that there's candy left at his altar because he had a sweet tooth. Now, one of the most interesting aspects of Hinduism is their concept of life and rebirth. To the Hindus, life never really ends. What happens is that after you die, your body goes into a state of what is known as reincarnation, meaning that you will be born again in a different body. You won't remember your past life. However, your actions will transfer over into your next life. This is where the concept of the caste system ties back in, because depending on how well you did in your past life will determine how you get to move up the caste system. Once you have led what is close to be a perfect life, you're finally able to break through the chains of humanity and join the Lord Brahma in the sky. Now, the two concepts that determine how you get to move up or down into the caste system are the philosophies of both Dharma and Karma. Dharma are the rules that govern the universe. Within your caste system, your ability to follow the rules. So we can think of the concept of Dharma as the rules that govern one's caste system. Karma, on the other hand, is how well or how poorly one is able to follow the rules of their caste. Your karma is the result of your ability to follow the rules or the Dharma. If you have really good karma, you get to move up the caste system in your next life. If you have really poor karma, then you get to move down the caste system. If you move too far down the caste system, you will be without a caste or known as an untouchable. By contrast, as you move up the caste system, you can eventually break free into complete salvation, joining Brahma in the sky, and this is what's known as moksha. It should be noted that Hindus place an extreme value on all life. And in fact, most Hindu people of India are vegetarians. They do not believe that any harm should come to living things. As a matter of fact, certain animals, such as cows, are considered sacred. And if you go to India and you see a cow crossing the street, you'll actually see cars stop and wait patiently for long periods of time for the cow to cross the street. Now, one in particular division of Hinduism is a group known as the Jains, or Jainism. Now, the Jains, they take an extreme form of value to all life, and you'll even see them wearing masks sometimes because they're scared of inhaling any insects and possibly harming them. Now, the reason why this is important to understand is because all insects, all living things were either once humans or will be future humans in a caste system. So therefore, if you destroy an insect, you may actually be killing one of your past relatives. One in particular Hindu of note was Mahatma Gandhi. Now, Mahatma Gandhi was not actually a Jain, but he did grow up with them. He was strongly against the caste system as an outdated method of having a society, but he preserved the knowledge and he preserved the philosophy of nonviolence. He stressed nonviolence at all times. His writings and his teachings were going to profoundly influence a great American hero, Martin Luther King, who during times of racial segregation subscribed heavily to the philosophies of Mahatma Gandhi and the concept of nonviolence at all times. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.